Hi, I'm John Holland, Public Information Officer for the Oshkosh Fire Department. Welcome to this edition of On Fire. Today we are out at Station 14, and Station 14 is located right by the airport, right where Knapp Street ends into the airport. It is called the Fire Company and ARF Station, and what ARF means is Aircraft Rescue Firefighting. Station 14 is a very unique fire station for the city of Oshkosh. It is located right on the airport grounds. The station itself, is owned by the county. We have red fire trucks that go out the front door, and that is for the city of Oshkosh. We have these green trucks that are behind me. They are the ARF vehicles, the aircraft rescue and firefighting vehicles that take care of the airport. So we do both. The county owns the vehicles, the county owns the building. They are nice enough to let us use the front part of the building for our trucks. It is just another great example of how we work so well with the county to try to keep the people of Oshkosh and Winnebago County safe. Obviously, the busiest time for this side of the station is during EAA AirVenture. So with me right now, I have Battalion Chief Mark Betcher. He has been running the place out here during EAA for quite a few years. I always like to say, since there were airplanes, it's been about 5 or 6 years from what I really understand. Yeah. So Mark, tell us a little bit about how it's different from this side during EAA versus regular time of the year.
Sure, thanks John. During the regular time of the year, as John mentioned, we have an agreement with Winnebago County to operate their ARF vehicles, which you see one of them behind me here. And so part of that agreement is that we man a city fire truck here as well. And the firefighters are responsible for responding to airport emergencies during that time frame, as well as city responses in their response district. During EAA, things change a little bit. Additional staffing is brought in to staff the crash vehicles right on the airport itself. We have 3 different positions that we run our ARF vehicles right on the runways, so we have faster response. We do not have to wait for the airport to be closed before we respond. It aids in our response time, which makes a safer convention for the people arriving or departing, and also during the air show. During EAA, I kind of view it as we divide the EAA grounds in half. The airport side of things, where the runways are located, and then also behind the fence line where the convention grounds are. During EAA, we have, as I said before, we have 3 ARF vehicles on the airport itself. We also gain assistance from the Air National Guard, so the Air Force firefighting team is here. And then we staff 2 ambulances and a fire department engine company on the ground side in the campground area or on the EAA grounds to aid in response on that side of things where most of the spectators are located. We also incorporate the people on duty into the manpower rotation on the airfield so people can get off the airfield out of the sun and have some time to recoup in air conditioning. As part of it to keep our firefighters as fresh as we possibly can during the day. Some of the training needs though that we were talking about before is every year our firefighters assigned to work out here have to go to currently Camp Douglas or Volk Field to take ARF refresher training. We do that annually. That's done in the first couple weeks of May to gain a certificate to make sure you're trained to cover passenger flights, which EAA does have some passenger flights that come in and out of Wittman during that period of time, so we have the certification required for that. Not every aircraft incident involves a fire, thankfully. The more severe ones usually do, but during the course of convention, it varies from year to year. Some years you may only have a few, 2 or 3, other years you have as many as 10 or 12. It just kind of depends. There's really no predicting it. We try to be ready for any type of event out here. Most of the time our incidents that we respond to, our landing gear collapses upon arrival. Might have a hard landing which will collapse part of the landing gear. Fuel leaks, actually we respond to a few fuel leaks every year where aircraft fuel might just bubble out of a tank, creating a hazard out on the airfield which we need to take care of. Plane may land and do what we call a ground loop, which will actually spin, which is kind of unnerving when you first see it. But you can get used to it after a period of time, which could cause damage to aircraft, so we respond to things like that. And then of course, once in a great while, we have some serious incidents where there's injury involved. There's 2 ambulances on site during the air show starting or during our operational period, which starts at 6, ends at about 10 or 10:30 at night. And during the air show, we have a dedicated ambulance for the air show staff, for the pilots that are flying in the air show, and they are dedicated to that portion of the event. We have airport familiarization with everybody on the department. They come out here, and the airport staff actually takes us through a required introduction to the airport that we need to do on an annual basis. And then as the convention nears, we actually do simulated response onto the airport itself to get used to navigating the airport and proper approach of a downed aircraft, things like that we review.
Thank you for joining us today at Station 14 for this edition of On Fire. Until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you then.